what are the key challenges, hurdles that the HIA are experiencing with builder licensing in Queensland? Is it working? Is it not working? So that's a broader question than just certification.
Yeah, big question, and we could probably spend quite a while talking about it. I do think there's a need to review the licensing regime in Queensland. For a couple of reasons. First of all, we're seeing a whole range of new materials come onto the market aimed at either increasing energy efficiency or, they're lightweight materials, so they're potentially quicker to erect, or there might be some cost savings involved in some panelised systems. And our licensing system isn't really geared up to deal with that. So the response from the regulator, the QBCC, when we've spoken to them about this is, well, a carpenter can put that product up. But, even with some of the growing popularity of steel framing, I mean, it's just, that product arrives to site. It's like a Meccano set for those that are of a similar age to me and can remember what a Meccano set is. But, our view is you don't need to be a fully qualified carpenter to put up a steel frame. So I think there's a need to review the licensing regime to take into account that things have changed, that we're dealing with new systems, we're dealing with new products, and perhaps there's the opportunity to review the licensing requirements to operate with that. We see very few instances these days where a trade takes on the full range of skills that they might have done traditionally. On most work sites now, the trades tend to specialise, so you'll have the guys that come in and put up the frame and the trusses. You'll have different guys that come in and do windows and doors and cabinetry and those sorts of things. You'll have a different team that puts the cladding on. So it raises questions, and we continually debate the issue about what skills an apprentice should have. Do they need to be doing a 3 or 4 year apprenticeship? Or perhaps they could start out with something much shorter and they specialise in one area, and obviously their licence would reflect that, and then they choose whether they want to expand that expertise and expand the licence as they go on. I think the other issue is there has been a tightening of the requirements around getting a licence in Queensland, and I'm not suggesting that's a bad thing, but I think we need some clarity around what the barrier or what the benchmark is for getting a licence, and it can be frustrating. We're helping a client or a member at the moment who's come up from New South Wales, has over 25 years experience building in New South Wales, is currently undertaking $30 to $40 million of work in New South Wales, and we are having a debate with the QBCC about whether he has the suitable skills and qualifications to get a licence in building for Queensland. And the hurdle seems to be the fact that he did a degree more than 10 years ago, and the QBCC doesn't think that's acceptable. So, we need to be practical. We need to be careful that we're not chasing highly skilled people out of the industry, because God knows we need them, just because of, some black and white interpretation of a line in a piece of legislation.